This is a primary human renal epithelial cell, a proximal tubule cell indeed, and it's been treated for 9 hours with 2 micromolar CCCP. Now, the blue are mitochondria, which have been stained with heat shock protein 60. The green is Polycystin 1, 7012 IgG1. The red is Cu62, IgA, kappa antibody. Now this is what I call an FR, or a fairy ring. So this is a properly developed one. The one we saw before was only 2 hours. This is 9 hours. And as you can see, there's a proper ring of polycystin here going around. And embedded in it are a swollen, defective mitochondria. And in the middle there's a core of Cu62. As you can see, it's quite a big structure. It's almost 10 microns across. And probably another 10 microns in this direction as well. So very large, and it's too big to be an autophagiosome, and it's too big to be a multivesicular body. It's something new, we think. So we call them fairy rings because the green looks like the grass and the mitochondria look like the mushrooms, and it goes back to basically my childhood and Celtic mythology. The fairy ring is a fungal phenomenon, and it was often associated with the sort of border between life and death, and so we think that these mitochondria are definitely dying from a swollen, defective looking, and this is in some way sorting them for export. So let's run this video and let's have a proper look at this in a little bit of detail. So this is the apical aspect here, and we're just going to turn it around. It's a bit slow. Here's the bottom of the cell. And as you can see, the Cu62 and the Polycystin 1 are in proximity, but they don't co-localize, and mainly because the antibody to the polycystin is some distance away from the PKD repeats. Here we're zooming in. We take Cu62 away. You can see that the mitochondria are not looking particularly healthy in that ring. It's kind of swollen, you see. So the polycystin 1 must be in the ER, and it must be interacting in some way with these defective mitochondria. See how swollen these guys are compared with the ones outside. See, these are much smaller. There's a lot of fragmentation going on as well, but these are big, swollen mitochondria. And there's the polycystin 1 again. And just the polycystin on its own, making just that green ring that looks so much like the ring of green grass you get in a fairy ring, and then the mitochondria are just a little bit like the mushrooms. When we first saw these, we thought they were an artifact because they were blinding the microscope, and the first thing that came into our mind was, oh, it looks like a fairy ring. Now here we've just got the polycystin and the Cu62. So the Cu62, as we show in the paper, is an ER protein, but it also gets out on exosomes, associated with Polycystin 1, of course. And you have that concentration of Cu62 in the middle of it. from the bottom again. And then finally a close up, and then really go in there. It's a very reticular kind of pattern. But I think that these mitochondria are senescent. They look like they're in big trouble.